New reports are going around for what big plan is next for the Uncle Howdy and Wyatt Sicks. We'll also check out what's new for Roman Reigns, some major changes, and more. Starting things off with the big rumored plan for Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Sicks. The Wyatt Sicks have been tag team champions for a decent amount of time by now, but one thing that they haven't had this entire title reign is an actual proper program and feud with another team. The SummerSlam program just consisted of every team in the division coming after the titles at the same time, but outside of that narrative, the Wyatt Sicks hadn't had a really focused, fully personal feud for themselves, basically since their feud against the Final Testament in late 2024. Well, it looks like that's about to change here sometime in the near future. On a recent edition of SmackDown, we went over how every Wyatt Sicks member was stalking somebody. Howdy had his eyes on the Motor City Machine Guns, as well as The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. Eric Rowan had his eyes on MFT. Nikki Cross was watching Tiffany Stratton and Kiana James, while Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy kept an eye on some of the tag team matches within the division. And the big question we had coming out of that SmackDown is, what exactly could the Wyatt Sicks be planning? That's a long list of targets, so was it another massacre, another big attack that they were planning to hit all those stars with? That's what we previously discussed, but according to new reports and rumors, only one of those targets from that week of stalking will be the Wyatt Sicks' main target going forward, and that's reportedly said to be Solo Sikoa and MFT. This group was part of the stalking. It was Eric Rowan who had his eyes on them, but according to reports, MFT is reportedly set to have a full feud and storyline with Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Sicks. On paper, this does seem like a fun matchup that could turn out to be a success. Ever since the Wyatt Sicks debuted back in 2024, a lot of fans always thought they would eventually come after Solo Sikoa, because the story basically writes itself. The Wyatts made it clear shortly after their debut that if you have a family surrounding you in WWE, and you're abusing them and treating them wrongfully, they'll come after you and make you pay for that action. That's what they did with Chad Gable and Karrion Kross, and perfectly enough, Solo Sikoa fits that same category as well. Ever since his rise to power in 2024, Solo Sikoa has ruled over his family in a pretty harsh and cruel way. With the new bloodline, that whole story consisted of Solo Sikoa going rogue against his family members and mistreating everyone around him. And now with MFT, it's a similar concept. Solo had his faction around him, this family, so to speak, and he's still the same harsh leader that's using all of his faction members for his own selfish benefit. While all the other major things Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Sicks claim to be passionately against. So it looks like the backstage stalking was all about the Wyatts splitting up and trying to find the perfect candidates to focus on, and unfortunately for Solo Sikoa and MFT, they were the chosen ones. The two groups do match up pretty nicely. Under Solo's leadership, his group did hold the tag team titles in 2024. They did climb up that mountain before. So maybe Solo does send some of his MFT members to go after the tag team titles that are in the Wyatts' possession. Setting up that major tag team matchup between Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis versus whichever two members of MFT steps up. And it looks like you even have a lot of potential there for a big matchup between both leaders as well. Solo Sikoa is current United States champion, so if Uncle Howdy is coming after Solo, that United States title could end up being on the line as well. A nice mid-card championship opportunity for Uncle Howdy. A big singles feud there within this faction versus faction feud. That does seem like it has a lot of solid potential. We know how the Wyatts operate, so if Howdy does come out after Solo and the US title, you can absolutely expect for Howdy to have some deep promos with Solo, calling him out for all the harm and sinful actions he's done over the last few years. Solo's done a lot of evil things in his WWE career so far, from being a ruthless, brutal enforcer that asks no questions at all, to now being a heartless leader that rules with an iron fist. Solo's had his fair share of evil doings, and Uncle Howdy's now here to make Solo pay for those actions, and take that US title in the process as well. The Wyatts want to destroy Solo Sikoa and MFT to fully eliminate them as a threat, and eliminate them from all the bad things they've done in recent memory. And it's a feud that could honestly go either way. Maybe Dexter Lumis and Gacy are able to retain, while Howdy picks up the US title, giving the Wyatts even more control of the blue brand. Or is it possible that Solo could retain against Howdy, and MFT will snatch up the tag team titles, giving MFT full power of SmackDown? So it's a feud that's really 50-50 and could go in either direction. Not to mention that it would be something fresh and new for both sides. It gives Wyatt something solid to do, and gets MFT away from the bloodline vortex of just fighting against Jacob and Jimmy. So keep your eyes peeled on that huge program on SmackDown that could kick off any week now. When Roman Reigns returned this past summer, he came back with a little tweak to his nickname that had fans scratching their heads and trying to make sense of it. Roman adjusted his nickname from OTC to OTC1 and TC1. Some fans liked it, some fans made fun of the name. It got a lot of mixed reviews. But fans think they finally cracked the hidden meaning and subliminal message to the new nickname for Roman Reigns. Fans think that the new nickname is a counter and response to Cody Rhodes' new nickname. Ever since winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 40, Cody Rhodes quietly started calling himself QB1, which of course is a football reference to quarterback one, meaning that Cody Rhodes was the starting quarterback for the WWE team and was first on the depth chart. The position of being the starting quarterback on a football team is a very important position because the game and your team's success quite literally rests in your hands. You're the decision maker, you're the driving force, you're the one that everyone's counting on to lead the team to success. So Cody embraced the role of being WWE's QB1. So it looks like Roman's TC1 is a tongue-in-cheek sort of way to Roman responding to Cody's nickname. If Cody wants to be quarterback 1, Roman will be tribal chief 1. So the nicknames do appear to mirror each other in that faction, but that's simply fan discussion and speculation. No one knows if it will be intended that way or if it's just a big coincidence, but the names do seem similar in that fashion. So this also has fans wondering if this could also be teasing the third matchup between Roman and Cody. There's been no official word on if this match is happening anytime soon, but Paul Heyman did confirm that in the early stages of preparing for WrestleMania 41, there was a quick discussion in WWE about having Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania for the third year in a row, but they quickly moved away from the idea. And in a recent interview, Cody said that he was not fully opposed to the idea of facing Roman again, but how everything needs to work out and make sense in order for it to happen. Roman and Cody are tied up at 1 win apiece. Their last few matches against each other featured literally an insane amount of outside interference. So maybe that third one-on-one match against each other really is needed. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.